to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again. We are tucked in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me today, it's not just me ranting into the mic today. Joining me today is a guy that I have been having help with my classes so far this year, just about every month this year.
Yeah.
And welcome, Jeremy, to the podcast. We've been threatening to have you on for quite a while.
You really have.
And just because I know he's listening, I've been threatening to have Nick on as well. He's another guy that helps me with my classes, along with James. James has already been on. But Nick, if you're listening, you will be next. You are next. I just have to get my stuff all organized because, no offense, Jeremy, I plan on having you on, but the only reason you were already here today, that's why.
It works. It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out well. Nick will get you on here as well, and then we'll have us all come together as a giant collab is what they say.
Be fun.
Collab. So tell me, Jeremy, tell everyone, the folks, a little bit about yourself. So you carry, you don't carry, if you want to give away the secret of where you carry. I mean, it's just up to you. What do you carry? What do you like to shoot? I know all these answers and I'll make fun of you as we go along. But and how did I first meet you?
So I took your concealed class back in, I think it was in 2020.
Like, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah. It was 2020 or 2021.
And then you and your wife, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys came back and took another class, didn't you?
We had to come back for the shooting portion.
That's
the
what
class
it was.
Too full.
Which
was great. It worked out so great.
We're experiencing that again this year.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So I took your class then. Now this is year number 2. I've been with you in the men's league, or the men's shooting
league. Ooh,
shooting academy, or whatever you want to.
What is that? Was that the Extraordinary League of Gentlemen?
That's some leftover, I guess, pool league, or I don't know where that terminology came from, but
yeah. So, but I mean, I remember when you first showed up. What were you shooting then?
I was shooting the Springfield Hellcat.
Were you I mean, how new were you? Were you new to shooting, or just getting into concealed carry at that point? Obviously, you're getting your permit, so
right. So I grew up in North Dakota, and I'd been hunting.
No DAC.
But I had never shot a handgun until this. It was the summer of 2020, I think.
Gotcha.
When I first bought a couple of handguns, and things started to go sideways, and we decided to get our enhanced concealed carries, and so I purchased the Hellcat. And
you showed up with the Hellcat, and I was like, oh, I didn't say this out loud. Did I? If I said anything then, I mean, I apologize, but I think in my brain I was like, oh, yay, a Hellcat.
I think you did. You did mention something, and
did I?
It wasn't a lot of fun to shoot. So
yeah, it was. It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, I felt like I did okay, but
no, you did good.
I definitely. So now I've upgraded. I carry a Gucci Glock. A Shadow Systems XR920.
XR9. I love it. It sounds like a car.
I think it's like a space ray.
You carry a Shadow Systems XR920.
Yeah.
It sounds like a spaceship.
It's just cool sounding.
Gucci
Sounds
Glock.
Better than
just say what it is. They had to come up with a cool name because it's a Gucci Glock.
I think what happened was Glock finally their patents or something ran out, and so people actually got to start using their platform and actually making Glock what it should be, or what Glock should have been.
Well,
doing.
You got the Gucci Glock. You had all those 80% polymer lowers.
Right. The dagger
and the dagger, and so you got the what does Magnum have? The Zev.
Zev, yeah.
Zev, whatever. I don't know what Zev
OZ9.
OZ9. He calls it the OZ9, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Oh, he's got that Gucci Glock.
Yeah, those are. I mean, and it's American. I mean, Zev's in Washington.
Yeah.
Shadow Systems is in Texas, so at least we're buying American.
Yeah, but you still okay. You're buying a Zev, not you. Magnum is buying a Zev. They're from freaking. You're supporting the state of Washington.
That's true.
Do you really want to do that, Magnum? That's where you left. So,
We'll have to ask him about it when on a podcast
all he
later.
does is give me a hard time. He says, "What do you shoot, Todd?" I say HK. He goes, "That comes from Germany. That's a big issue in itself."
See, there you go. It's still American.
Yeah. So you've been helping. So no, we're not done with you. So you carry.
Oh yeah. So I like to carry appendix.
Yes.
Tier 1 concealed holster with a spare mag, and
Gotcha.
I've done some different things to it to make it a lot more comfortable, a lot more concealable, and it works great for me. Pretty much carry every day.
Fantastic.
I'm not allowed to carry at work, so
We don't talk about that. Yeah. What happens on the podcast stays on the podcast. So what? So yeah, this is like your second year in the men's group.
Yeah.
Second year. What do you? I mean, obviously came back.
Yeah.
So maybe you were just bored, or maybe you actually had a good time. I don't know.
So it was a lot of fun. Last year, getting into it, we started with the very bottom of the
We always do.
ground up basics.
We always do.
The dry fire, and then by the end, we were kind of running USPSA courses or whatever, however you want to call it.
We need to do more of those this year.
I agree. That was a lot of fun.
Where my goal is, and I hate to interrupt you, and that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do today.
That's what I'm here for.
But the goal is to try and get into that a little earlier. That's the goal. But I got some challenges that we're gonna do and stuff. But I want to get into that, run those courses. I tell you what, it is more. It's harder to come up with a course than what you guys think.
I'm sure.
I mean, I'm thinking about it all week, and I got so many classes. It's like tear down, set back up, set this up. Oh, these people are at this level, so tear this down. Oh, I got like freaking 5 private classes today, and then I'm not complaining. I mean, I like to keep busy, but it's like, oh, I got to tear it down, set up the range for just basic bullseye beginner type shooting, and then okay, they're gone. I've got 2 hours to tear this apart and set up a course. It's a whole thing, man. Well, and it's just a one-man show.
It's good to be busy, though.
It is. I guess I'm not complaining, but my yard does need to get mowed, which I never miss that, if you can tell.
Yeah,
That's
you're
pretty.
a big fan.
I'm a big fan. So anyhow, you've enjoyed the group. You've had good. Have you benefited from it just from things you've learned?
Absolutely.
Or have you benefited just mostly from time behind the gun, which I guess that all goes together.
So what I like about it is that it's not, so you can go out to south of Kimberly or wherever you choose to go shoot, and you can go set up some targets and just, do what you're going to do. And that's fun, or go plinking. But coming to your class it's a lot more focused. It gives us what, you basically line out what we're going to do for the night.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working on. And it gives us the opportunity to shoot and have a purpose.
Yeah.
And I've benefited from that. I could tell just from this year to last year, I've benefited a ton from it. And so it's made me a better shooter. Now, I don't know if that's all just time behind the gun.
Well, it's
getting used to it.
It's all of it.
But having something to practice and then doing dry fire and stuff on my own is also beneficial.
Yeah. So last year you came an extra evening and we worked on the
Draw from appendix and follow-up shots. And does that fun? Oh yeah.
That's fun. That's fun stuff.
That was fun. Just getting, the close up to the target where we were weaving backwards through the barrels and all that. That was a good time.
So and I'm not, and I know you've taken other classes, other places. That's cool. That's fine. But did my methodology, whatever, I don't even know that word. Methods, just say methods of teaching you the draw. Not that it's different from maybe anyone else's, but did the way I broke it down, did that help you? What'd you think? Did it make sense? Did it?
Yeah, it did, because you break it down to, it's a step by step. I think we're 4 steps.
6 steps.
6 steps.
Come on, man. Did you learn nothing? I'm kidding.
It lets you break it down so you can slow it up and kind of count your way through the 1, 2, 3. And I hadn't ever taken any instruction on drawing from concealed, and that's what I wanted. Practice was more of a check out my method. How am I doing? Where can I do something different? Where can I improve? I had never had somebody else watch that and look at that before.
Did we? And you did good. Did we talk about my signature scoop?
Yeah, we did.
Did you still use that?
I've been using. I kind of slap up above the.
You're fine. It's fine. I like my scoop. I
The
like my
scoop
signature
works
scoop.
so I use it and practice it in the wintertime when I'm multi-layered.
Multi-layers. Yeah. I love my signature scoop, man.
Yeah, and there's some variances on it that I actually kind of like. And
grab, scoop, come around, meet, drive out.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too. It works well.
You don't have to say that just because you're on my podcast, dude. It's cool, I promise. So as you what do you think of the group we have? Actually, the group that we have this year, we have some new players, right? Yeah. And it's big this year.
It is. I'm excited that it's larger than it was last year.
We're almost like maxed out.
Yeah. I was just happy to actually see some more people want to get involved and do it. You've said it for a while about the female classes and they're always full and they're always willing to learn and nobody knows what it is with dudes, what our mental what the mental wall is, but
they probably listened to my podcast and went, nope, we're out. So no, I think we got a great group. It's going to be fun. Bill's listening. Bill, you don't have to shoot 300 rounds every time you're here, man. So Phil's a good guy. I love it because he'll shoot, he'll focus, and then it's like, I got to go, man. I've shot 300 rounds. I'm like, okay, Bill, I understand.
Yeah, he's a blast. And watching the guys that were in the group last year and then coming back this year and just seeing where we kind of got to start and kind of compared to the starting point of everyone else, it's just you can kind of notice it.
So let me tell you, it's interesting. I teach mostly have women, female students, and so the two things that I've noticed, there's two differences in the groups that I've noticed. Right, you guys take instruction pretty well. Some guys they got to like warm up to you a little bit before they take instruction because there's that machismo where the women are more like, what am I doing wrong? Tell me, I'll fix it, whatever. But here's the interesting thing, because I notice these little things. I mean, the women are great. They all get along, but they have their little tiny groups, right? And if someone new shows up, that's fine. But women always like bring a friend, And so they have these little tiny groups that they all talk together, but they're these little tiny groups still. So I was impressed because when the guys met, we're not as these little niche groups, right? They're not these little...
Right.
It's so you guys took it on yourself because I think I failed to introduce everybody, and you guys just went around and you guys were like, "Hey, what's your name?" and "Hi, how you doing?"
What are you shooting?
That was free. Yeah, we just want to find out what each other's shooting.
I just want to.
Is it better than what I'm shooting? Because do I need to go buy a new one?
Yeah,
that's what I've. We've been running this group since February this year. And there's already a couple guys that went and bought like new guns already. It's freaking fantastic. I love it. It's so much fun. What do we got you into helping with classes this year, and I do appreciate it. My permit classes have been like nutty this year.
Crazy.
Like, I know I always say, hey, we got 30 plus people, and I do on my list.
Right.
Okay. But they don't all show up, right? I would rather have 30 plus people and have 25 show up than, hey, I've got 25 people and only have 12 show up. So for me, even though they're not the 30, I promise you guys, right? I need your help. There's 30 people here. They're still good sized classes, and I'm really excited about that. And I've been having you, and I've also been having, Magnum is always here to help. And then I have you, and then I've been having Nick help as well, which Nick will be on the podcast in the future soon. But I I honestly, we can do it. Me and James can do it with just one other person. A couple times I'm like, oh, the students didn't show up. Like, I should call and cancel one of these guys. But let me be honest with you. I'm like, they've allotted this time to come help me like weeks in advance. I'm not going to do that to you, right? Just show up. It is what it is. Safety's good.
Right.
And it runs so smooth with, I've done it with just me and James before, and me and James and one other person. I'm thinking there's no room for 4 people, like depending on the size of the group. I don't care. It runs great. Our last class, we had like 22 people, and I think we had it down to, group 1, group 2, where only like 10 or 11 people were shooting at one time. Even with 4 people helping, fantastic. It runs. It's so worth it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's a great environment.
Yeah, and you don't have to move. Your people are literally, because there's so many of us.
Yeah,
that you got like 3 people you're watching, so you're like right there. And I'm not changing it up unless I have a class where there's like literally only 10 people there. I might say, hey, dude, if you come, you're on your own, but I don't need you. It's kind of a cost analysis thing going on there.
Right.
But I'm going to have you guys as long as I can have you guys all to help. I love having 4 people on the line to help. It is so much better. So even James mentioned, he's like, that's nice.
It flows pretty smooth.
It does flow
once you kind of figure out the cadence, you get 1 or 2 classes in, and the last one went super smooth.
Oh, it went super smooth. So what is it? And I always ask when I knew people come to help. I even had James talk about this too when he was here helping. What is it like? Well, like, your stuff. I mean, in the permit classes, we're looking for a couple different things. Not that you couldn't do more, but we're looking for, it's pretty basic.
Right.
Be safe, help direct people, make sure slides are locked back, help people clear jams, keep everything pointed to the same direction, make people feel comfortable, and make sure they're doing what? The fundamentals correctly, which that's pretty basic stuff, right? But what do you think now? You've done a handful of these classes with me. What do you think now? What are your thoughts now as far as, I guess some people look at what I do, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. I guess that sounds so bad to say toot my own horn, but there's more to it than it's not hard, but there's more to it than what you realize. Am I correct?
Right. Yeah.
Do you leave her just like crazy, like, oh my, I'm done?
I'm usually starving by the time I'm like, let's go to Pizza Planet or something. I need some food.
Do you and Nick go out to eat afterwards?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Frick, dude, why don't you say you need to just holler?
Time.
You need to holler at me and James, and we'll just all go. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I honestly never thought about it.
Fine, you guys have been.
But yeah, usually we're just a little bit worn out. Last time the sun was out, and it was a really nice day, and
it
was a little bit hot.
But what are your thoughts on what you're seeing in class? Like, is it different than what you thought it would be, or a little like what are the challenges that you see, if there are any?
I think probably the biggest challenge is to kind of not try and jump in and keep fixing somebody once you showed them the right way to do it a couple of times, and then you just kind of got to let them. That's not what they're here for. That's not what we're here for on that day. So
they have to want to do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone that you're helping and you're like, they'll listen to you and they'll do it once or twice, but you know that they're just really not going to afterwards?
Oh, yeah. You can
they're safe.
You kind of tell that person,
you have to be stubborn if they're not being safe.
Yeah.
But other than that,
as long as they're putting the muzzle the right direction and they're not doing anything stupid.
You've corrected them a few times, so you know that they know.
Yeah.
But it comes a point you just got to be like, okay, dude, whatever.
Just let it go. You just
like where else can I
shoot?
Where else can I put my time in that is going to be appreciated?
Yeah, exactly. And it's been enjoyable. It's been a fun way to spend an afternoon.
Right.
Other than the safety part is the most important part, and that's what they're there for.
Yes,
that's what we're here for. But it's kind of. It's almost you get to a certain point in the class where we're getting towards the end and it's the 3 shots or the go at your own pace, and you kind of watch people sort of loosen up, and it feels like they're having fun.
Yeah.
And
and they love you afterwards. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, everybody's in such a good mood, and I think it's because everybody got to shoot. Like,
have they come up and like shook your hand and and said, "Hey man, thank you." Like you pointed some things out. Doesn't that make you feel good?
Yeah, it really does.
Like you've achieved something. For the day.
Exactly.
Like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm like my time was well spent.
Have you seen something? Without getting too specific, because I don't want to call anyone out, but have you seen anything in the class by students that you're just like, whoa, just shocked you as far as I can't believe they did that, or this person really is really, really new, or it just leaves you shaking your head?
I mean,
you could
a couple of magazines loaded backwards that
Yeah.
made me
Wait
go,
till
hey,
you're-
wait. But
Have you seen them loaded? Like tried to chamber around? And
no,
the bullet
no,
gets
just the
stuck
magazine
in there backwards?
So because we kind of go through and
You're
inspect
freaking
that.
rookie, dude. You're a rookie.
I just don't let them get that far.
Oh, man.
You get a whole magazine loaded backwards though, and you're like, hey, we gotta redo this real
What
quick.
happens is you get one the right way, one the right way, one the right way, two backwards, and then one the right way, one the right. You top it off with one the right way, and they're like, bang, 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 click, and you look at it and you're like, how did that happen?
How'd you do that? It's impressive.
So yeah, but is it a little eye opening sometimes? I mean, you could be honest, dude. You're not gonna.
Yeah, no, I honestly, the section of people that I've been in and the few classes I've worked, I haven't seen anything that made me
Question life.
Yeah, didn't make me scared about the person that's standing there shooting or anything like that.
Right.
Like, for the most part, the students seem to be pretty receptive, and everybody seems to have safety at the forefront, and that's the most important part.
That's good. Do I seem a bit? And then I'm going to ask a question about me. I mean, so when I'm giving the class, I know at first when I'm explaining how I'm going to do the shooting portion, like I explain it when you guys are there as well before we go shoot. Like I have to get kind of like, and you're not going to touch your guns till I tell you to touch your guns. You're not going to load your guns till I tell you to load your guns. And so I like lay it all out, but I have to do that to keep everyone safe. When we first start shooting, before people are a little more like comfortable and maybe just like calm down a little bit, have you ever kind of looked around and got the feeling that people are like, this guy's kind of a Nazi when it comes to have you ever, like a range Nazi?
Yeah, maybe. You can kind of see the look on their face when you're like, all right, we're only going to load 7 rounds at a time or whatever. And like, well, my magazine will hold 18 or 20, and I just want to get this done. And
you can't. There's a time issue, too.
Yeah, exactly. And once they get through a couple, of group 1, group 2, and they kind of settle into the pattern, you can kind of see like they start to get it. They're like, oh, all right, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or
I've always wondered what people kind of think when I say that. I'm like, yeah, I don't care if your magazine will hold 30. You're loading 7. It don't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and I mean the math works out, and we go whatever it is, 10 or 14 or whatever. How many? I think it's 14. Times around.
Oh, I don't even know, man. I've been doing this for 10 years and I don't even know. I used to walk around with all the different things that we did, like written on a piece of paper. I mean, this is when I started. Like, I was like, okay, we got to do that. And we don't really have to do any of those things. That's not required. You just have to fire the rounds.
Yeah. You shoot in the dirt.
Yeah, you could. But there's that time thing that we sit around for 3 hours and twiddle our thumbs, right? But I used to have it all written down. And then I always set that damn piece of paper down and I'd lose it.
Well, it probably blew away.
Well, this is on the indoor range, and finally I'm just like, forget it. And you see me, I'm over there randomly, like I asked someone, like, is all you brought was 50 or 100 rounds? And then I'm like counting. Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, you're like, okay, we're like 15 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm super organized. So, and I want you to answer this actually. And I don't know if you listen to my radio show or not or anything like that. But and it's okay if you don't. You're working, so I get it.
Yeah. I usually listen to Spotify. I don't listen to the radio hardly at all. So.
Gotcha. So one of the big things, and I guess I should have started the podcast before and asked you your thoughts and feelings on this. I'll tell you my thoughts and feelings, and you can, I don't know, we'll get there. So there was a bill on the state level to let teachers or anyone that worked for a school district, or even like, for example, I know what you do. And do you have any counselor schools?
No.
Okay. If for some, because you're stocking where they sell it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically for the most part.
But like if someone is a subcontractor of the school, showed up to like work on the HVAC system or install a window or whatever, right? The bill was that as long as they had the Idaho Enhanced Concealed Carry Permit, they would be allowed to carry on the school grounds. Okay, my thoughts are I like that, but I don't like it because they aren't having to. I look at the permit class and I say That's not a training class. That's an educational class, right?
Right.
There's a lot more I think you need to learn if you're going to carry, especially like at a school. And just the average person carrying, I really think there needs to be. And we talked about it in a different class that we'll talk about today. Like there needs to be, you need to learn stuff, right? There needs to be more required in that class, I think, if you want to carry in a school. And even for everyday concealed carry to a certain extent. I understand constitutional carry and I support it. I wish people would feel the burden of the responsibility to go out and get more training and be safer, right? Because there's stuff you need to know. But when you look at everyone in the classes that you've done just a small portion, right? Are those people, are they ready to carry in a school full of kids? Some maybe.
Yeah, it kind of depends.
I mean, you're not going to scare me. Say what you want to say, because I know what I agree.
And you can see some of the people have a certain amount of skill, and they've probably taken other classes before.
Right. But there's some that maybe think that they're ready, and they're not.
Yeah, I would say if it was just the, here's my bare minimum that I've done, and it's the enhanced concealed carry, I would say probably not.
Good. Okay. I wanted to see if you agreed with me. If you didn't, that's fine.
I do like that they will let teachers carry.
They won't now. It didn't pass.
Oh, it didn't? Well, that's stupid.
Well, yes and no. And here's what James disagrees. Magnum disagrees. He's got like 5 names, but he disagrees a little, and that's fine. We don't all have to agree. Where that is something that can be changed on the state level.
Right.
Or no, excuse me, the local level. Doesn't have to be put into law at the state level. And I think that that's where it should be put into to action, is on the local level with the local school boards.
Right. Let the schools decide.
But the problem is and here's where the problem lies. If it's done on the local level, then you can set up those trainings and those other requirements that I think that people need to be proficient to be able to carry in the schools, right? They need to have proven that they're proficient, right?
Yeah.
But no one will show up, and everybody wants that. They want it changed, but no one will show up and try. No one will show up to a school board meeting and try. Not enough people show up, or no one shows up, right? But they all want to know, well, how can we change this? How can we change this? But they won't do it. So if you have inactivity on the local level, then the state's going to step in and do whatever it is they want to do. I think that's a bad thing.
Right.
But anyhow, that's not. I wanted a funner podcast than this.
Yeah. Get involved at the local level if you want change, I guess.
Yeah. So today you helped me with a different type of class.
Yeah.
It was a private class, a family. There was 7 of them.
7.
Yeah, and they showed up, and man, it was a beginners type class. But when you get a group that big, sometimes we have some fun, right?
Yeah.
And it goes a little longer than allotted. And what was your thoughts today? This was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, the atmosphere was a lot more relaxed than the permit class.
Yeah.
And
not safety relaxed, but just no one's as uptight or tense.
And it wasn't as regimented. We started out, you load 5 rounds. We want to see how you're shooting. Be safe. We want to observe what you're doing.
And we'll fix you when we see.
And then from there, it was kind of like, go at your own pace, load 5 at a time, and just kind of, we'll give you the fundamentals and you practice.
I'm really kind of like putting you on the spot a little bit, because I'm afraid that you're just saying what I want to hear. But in your mind, do you think that did you like the way it flowed? Like, did you think my setup for that kind of class worked out well?
Yeah, I thought it was great, because we dry fired in the classroom. We talked safety before anybody even brought a gun out or got to the range. We talked safety again. And from there, it was they shot at their own pace. So they traded guns between themselves and sort of saw how it almost became a little bit competitive to see who could shoot the other person's gun better. And
it was fun.
Yeah. And at the same time, you got to kind of work with them, because a lot of them, they were beginners, and you get to work with them just a little bit and watch them improve off of something that from where they started. They were kind of all over the paper, and then they improved enough where their groups, they might not have been in the bullseye, but they were more consistent, and they just because they listened and they tried to apply something that they were told. And it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was a fun day today.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy these days. And the reason why I had you here is because there were 7 people. Like, I
Right.
need to keep. Imagine me trying to do that myself, which I've done.
Right. And
But
it was supposed to be 8.
You
wasn't
want
it?
it, yeah. You just want, you want to keep everything flowing.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be tough to get up and down the line and work with each and every one of those people.
Yes, it is.
and have them benefit from it too. So
Yeah, it
I
is,
think,
so.
I think they really enjoyed themselves, and like I said, you got just seeing how they started and where they finished off the day. Like, I don't know, it went well. It was a good thing.
It was. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoyed it too. And they got to shoot still at the end.
Yeah.
And everyone was
Yeah.
giving each other a hard. But could you
Texas
see?
Star and-
Could you see him starting to get tired though?
Yeah,
They were.
Yeah,
It was like, okay, who's next? And it'd be like,
they were
I'm like,
"I'm done."
we could be done if you want. Like, we should have been done. Like, which is fine. I knew it was going to go over, and I'm okay with that because I just want everyone to enjoy themselves. Like, yeah, we should have been done 45 minutes ago. But if you guys want to keep going, I'm game. And they did everyone. It's funny because it's like, oh, I love to shoot. And a lot of people love to shoot, and they go out and shoot. And then after about 30 rounds, you start seeing the fatigue set in, right?
Yeah.
And I tell them, if you're doing this right and you don't do it often, you're going to get tired.
Yeah, it does wear you down. I mean,
I think
holding your arms out in front of you for however long.
I think just being around the gunshots too kind of
right.
works on your psyche a little bit. Like,
And especially the ones that are kind of flinchy and
yeah.
and not they're the ones anticipating the recoil and anticipating the explosion and I could see that kind of taking a toll.
We had that fantastic 40 cal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that.
So here's that. If they listen, because I think some of them are going to listen to the podcast. I mean, you guys were great, but man,
she was trying to sell that thing off at the end of the day.
yeah. So here's the thing. It's the. So I had a lady yesterday here with a 40, right? Big, long as Glock. If you paid attention to Patriot Defense Facebook page, you'll see it. I put out. It's actually cool. It was her dad's, and he got it when he retired from the FBI, and it's actually got FBI like engraved into it. Thing had never been shot, but her dad passed away. She got it. Should she have shot it? Maybe not. There was a reason why her dad never shot it, but she shot it. And I saw the 40. I was like, oh God, we're gonna have issues here.
Right.
She did great with it, but it is a full size, big. I think like an extra long slide.
So it'll eat up some of that recoil.
Yeah, but this package today, Shield,
Yeah.
40 cal,
Yeah. Just
not fun. That's probably the
gun.
worst thing you can do with a 40 cal is put it into a subcompact gun.
yeah.
It's horrible.
It's rough.
It's super rough. And she wanted to get rid of it by the end of the day. Like she wanted nothing to do. I don't even think was that her. That was her husband, right? Who was that?
Yeah. I believe they were married. Yeah.
Okay, I think so. I don't know anyhow. The guy that she was with, maybe it was her brother. I feel horrible now. But he I don't even think he wanted anything to do with that 40.
And I don't blame him.
That was so yeah, 40s can be pretty rough.
That 10 mil was shot.
Oh yeah, tell everyone about the 10 mil.
was,
I'm
Smith
trying to
and
collect
Wesson.
my thoughts.
It was an M&P
MMP 10, yeah.
2.0.
Yeah,
10
I
10
never
mil.
shot one of those yet, and they've been out for quite a while.
Yeah, it was like a 5-inch barrel. It was a longer barrel.
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, it shot great.
Oh, it shot fantastic. The trigger was nuts looking though. Did you see that trigger on it?
I didn't see the
It's kind of
trigger.
weird, kind of skeletonized. It was odd, but man, it was good.
Yeah, it shot nice. It had a nice wall, nice break. I mean,
Yeah, really good. So, as you help me with these classes, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit, and we'll see where it goes because we started to get into this really good conversation before the podcast, and now sometimes it's hard to recreate them when you're not. When you're recording.
There was like half a second there where we were talking and we
were flowing,
kind of BSing, and I was like, is he just recording? And then we're just gonna
No, because we start naming names. We can't do that on the podcast. I've had a couple times on the podcast where I like said something and someone texts me later on and goes, "Frick, was that me that you were talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh God, here we go. Here we go. I'm in trouble." But no, you've helped me with some classes now. And so there's always that thing out there. You got to teach, you got to instruct to the lowest denominator in the class, right? You've heard that, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, when people take a class, like even in our men's class, we have all different levels of people in them. And I see this in the men's class, the women's class, everything, right? You have all different levels. And I've learned to find out that people are there for different reasons.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Some people know that they're never going to be super fast, and maybe they've got a condition or something never going to be super accurate, but they're enjoying shooting, and that's what they want to be there for. And it's been, as I did in these big group classes, I play with my little doll over here. A student gave me this, actually. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
As I teach these classes, there's some that want to go quick and they want to go fast and they want to get better. Some are working on this, some are working on that. Some are just happy to be there shooting, and that's what they want to do. Right. And they know that they've hit a certain level, whether it be age or whatever. They're just happy to be there and shoot. And I think that's fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as an instructor, I've had to learn to kind of figure out who those people are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And always try to help make them better, but you just know you get to a point they're just happy.
Yeah. They're just there for the camaraderie. Sometimes.
They're just there to shoot, and they're just there to have a good time, and that's fine. And it's just fun to kind of see that, and it's figure out how people are, I guess.
Well, that's one of the things I really enjoyed last year in the men's group, and it was a relatively, I think we had six. So it was a small group, but it was, we made some friends, and we got to shoot and joke and run some courses and have some fun. So
and kick over some freaking barrels.
Kick some barrels over.
That video never made it because the video I received of that. So we can explain what happened there. But the video I received, I was going to post, but it was like super blurry.
Oh yeah, somebody probably with an iPhone to an Android or vice versa.
I think it was Bill. Oh. Bill, we need to work on you. Was Bill the one that took that? I think that Bill was the one that.
Remember.
Bill, I love you, Bill. We need to work on your video skills. But so tell everyone about what happened. Tell them about the little course.
Well, we were running a course that day. Was it the course where we had to shoot around the barrel and not hit little Timmy, or is that a different day?
Yeah, no, that was the one.
That was the one. Yeah. So we started out where we had to go left or right around the barrel and then shoot again around the other side of it.
But we had to run. We had to stop at the side. We started a long ways away.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We shot.
We started at the top. We ran down, shot,
you had to run down, shoot, and then you had to run down and then lean over. You're supposed to lean over and shoot around the barrel at a target that was hidden behind the barrel.
And then little Timmy was in another little weird. You couldn't let your shot pass through and hit Timmy, and that was something that we didn't even realize was a thing until our second run through, and it was like, oh, by the way, you guys,
Timmy was full of holes.
You shot the kid.
But the funny part, what you did was we ran it seriously for quite a little while.
Yeah.
And then I said, just have fun, be safe.
Right.
Have
I
fun.
think I was the last one going, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go through, because we had to lean around the barrel where we almost had to like we were kind of pushing it out of the way.
Yeah.
And I went up and I kicked the barrels down instead.
Oh, you just ran into him. You did you shot up top, ran down instead of leaning around the barrels. You did this flying kick thing, like this Bruce Lee looking thing, into the barrels, knocked the barrels over, crushed the target that you were supposed to shoot, and then turned around and started shooting. It was so just off the. It was great.
That was pretty fun.
I was like, what just happened here? And then of course everyone had to follow up afterwards.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. Like I said, those courses were fun. That one we did the very first time that you had set up, where we started down low. And we'd shoot around a barrel or something, and then we ran up high, and had to go and then shoot down long ways, and that was so much fun.
Oh yeah, we have some fun. Like I keep odd shaped pieces of cardboard now, so I can cut the little slivers out. So you got to shoot this little sliver,
right? You can't miss.
Yeah. So we have lots of fun. But we talked about all the classes, and you helping with the classes, and there was something a little different that I ran into. I sent you the video. It was on TikTok. God save TikTok, because it's wanting to go away because our government is stupid. They collect more data from us than freaking TikTok does.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
They get more data off our phones and Google Maps and where we go everywhere. And
Yeah. So
TikTok everywhere.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. But I found this video and I sent to you, and I've seen this video before, and it just popped up again today, and it just had me questioning. Now, I don't think everyone needs to carry a firearm, right? Necessarily. If you don't want to, I get it. I'm not going to force you. But the video was they asked a bunch of different people, women that had children, questions, or one question. And the answers stunned me. I think they stunned you as well.
Yeah.
And I know what the premise for the video was. I know what the main but we're not going to, I know what the statement written on the bottom of the video was. I'm not going to even say that because I don't want to bring that into the picture, but it was fascinating to me what the answer to this question was. So I'm going to play it, and hopefully the podcast gods don't take it down because there is some stupid music in the back, and I don't want to be copyright infringement, but I'm afraid that may happen. So I think we're going to play it anyway. If they can be played on TikTok, you would think that music can be. I don't. Maybe not.
There's only one way to find out.
Well, it's going to be up for a day, and they're going to yank it.
Just disclaimer: this is not your original soundtrack.
There you go. So we're going to go ahead and let me figure this out. Here's that. We'll go ahead and play it now.
Would you kill for your kid?
Would I kill for my kid?
Yeah.
Kill somebody?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Would you kill for your child to protect them?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
No. Maybe?
Is that an answer? Maybe.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes as long as it's legal.
I mean, it'd take a lot. Like, that's a big thing to do. I'm not just gonna go out and randomly kill people.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't think twice.
Absolutely.
Why is that so easy to answer?
Because, like, if I don't, who will?
I almost died having them, so I'll kill for them.
It's like mom to the rescue. Double up the cape because we already wear one.
Would you kill for your child?
No.
I don't think I would kill for my children, but I do think I would be mouthy enough that somebody might murder me standing up for my children.
You don't think these things through when you do them, right? It's your mom instinct, your mama bear will come out.
If he was in danger, I would protect him.
Would you kill for your kid? Would you kill for?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, that was whatever. I can't run the stupid board. So I thought that was that whole video, and it was a video, so you guys got the audio portion, but I think it was good enough you guys could understand. They asked a bunch of women one question, and that was, would you kill for your kid, or would you kill to protect your child? Not, would you kill to hide a body because your kid needed you to stay out of prison? It's like, what would you, I guess what would you do for your child? And would you kill for your kid? Now, I've asked this question, not would you kill for your kid, but I've talked to a lot of people that are like, I won't say they're anti-firearm, but they're kind of against guns. They're not a fan. Oh, I would never use a gun. I would never do this. I would never do that. And that's fine. You don't have to. But then I've actually asked people the same question. It's like, well, what would you do for your kids? And they said, well, I'd do anything for my kids. What do you mean? I said, well, would you defend your child? If someone was trying to kidnap them, if someone was trying to attack you and them, could you use a firearm would you defend your children with a firearm? If that means shooting someone, and if you're going to shoot someone, there's a chance that they may die. Would you do that? Like, I'd do anything for my kids. Right. And I haven't asked a ton of people that, but I've asked a few people, but this video stunned me a little bit.
I was surprised because mothers are usually absolutely doesn't matter.
Just get a little closer. That's all. Yeah, so is the fact that, I think the majority of them said, well, hell yeah, I would do anything for my kids. But there was a fair amount, too, that said no, and they'd laugh. They're like, no.
Yeah, no way.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't even know what to think of that. Is it so... I don't even know where to go with this, really. I guess I've given it some thought, but not a bunch of thought, probably because I saw it right before this class started, right? But it's like, my wife would do anything to protect her kids. My daughters would do anything to protect their kids. I would do anything to protect my kids and my grandkids and all that, right? I have no problem doing that. That's blood. That's family. I do that for other people as well.
Right.
Not at the detriment of my family, but I would do that for lots of different people. And the fact that I can understand if someone says, I'm not going to do that for you. I don't know you. You're a freaking stranger. Right. I understand that, but it's your kid, man.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that the liberal mindset? Is that the guns are bad mindset? What is that all about? Is that I'm going to answer the question right here. Is that and it's what was said in the video. Is that the difference between a mom and a mother?
Right.
I need women to ask this question too, because this boggles my mind.
We need a poll of some sort, somehow to put a poll out to the public or to the, maybe not on Patriot Defense Facebook page, because they're all there because they're gun people. So.
Yeah. I know what their answer would be. In fact, some of them I might be a little scared about some of their answers. Right, I might get plenty of descriptions on how that would take place.
Yeah, you might get a little too much.
Yeah. So fascinating though to me that the poll it blows my mind that there was even some that would say, "Oh no." I guess the question is, do you love your kids? I don't know. I don't know what to say or even think about it. I wanted to put it out there because that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all yeses across the board. There's no question.
What do you think a father would say?
I think they'd say yes. I'd say yes.
Well, I know I'd say yes. Well, yeah, me too. But what do you think they'd get this? There'd be the same outcome, or do you think it'd be different because a father? I mean, a mother's a protector too. But do you think it'll be a little different because maybe a father is looked at as maybe more of a protector because they're the male, they're the alpha, they're the
right. That's they're the
ones with the club,
their role, their job, I guess, in society in a certain way.
I'm boggled. You need to play that video for your wife and just get her. I would love to get her take on it. In fact, I should get a group of women actually in here on the podcast and say, play this and say, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Like, I want to do a deep dive on this.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I know what my wife would say.
She'd say, yeah, and then I'd run them over with the freaking Charger. Wouldn't she?
Yeah, she would probably.
It's a Charger she drives, right?
It's a Challenger.
Challenger. Yeah. That's a better one. Yeah. Sorry, Nikki.
Yeah, well, we should edit that part out maybe or something.
Yeah, she's going to hate me. I knew it.
I don't want to make her mad.
I made myself mad. I was like, oh, geez, she's got a Charger, not a Challenger's the cool one.
Yeah, the Challengers are cooler than the Charger.
I don't know. Some people maybe aren't wired for that, but maybe some people weren't wired to have kids either. Maybe they had their kids for the wrong reason. But I would think that if it came from you would do anything to protect it, to defend it.
Even if they didn't, even if you were in a stepdad role.
That's an instinct. I protect someone else's kids.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
in the video, and this really has nothing to do with firearms, but in the video, it said, it didn't even ask would I shoot someone? Would I use a gun? Just would you kill for your kids? Would you kill someone to protect your children? Fight to the death sort of thing. There was a video that I found these guys did on YouTube, and I'll have to dig it up. And he talks about why they carried, right? And what you need to look at if you're going to carry a gun, what you need to be able to do, that you need to be an asset, you need to be a benefit. And if you aren't ready to use that gun to kill someone, to possibly kill someone if you have to, which I 100% agree with, you shouldn't carry a gun at all, right? If you're, I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. I can't even think because it's just, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's...
I'm stuttering here. I just don't get it. I don't understand how this even works.
Yeah, not, I don't know. Not what you expected to hear on that.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, okay, we had one more incident. I don't even have an audio for this, but it was
an article.
It was an article, and so sometimes I look for audio, but I didn't get a chance to. Let me find this article here. I'm going to pull it up. There's a story that came out, I think it was today, actually. It said I'm going to just read a synopsis of it. Because Pennsylvania man, this is by the Daily Mail, so that tells you quite a bit, right? How they framed this article. But this is I won't say it's a brand new tactic, but I've never heard it worded this way. Let me tell you what the article kind of was about, and then I'll tell you about some of the phrases that they're using in this article. I think this article is pretty much clickbait anyway, but it says a Pennsylvania man, 76, shoots his wife dead for nagging him about his gun, then kills his daughter, who is 37. He kills her too, before bragging to the cops that he's the best of the best with a firearm. So he was in his garage. He'd been drinking a little bit, so that's not a good combination, right? He had his gun out. He's messing around with his gun. His wife comes out, nags him about drinking, nags him about having the gun, and he tells her if she doesn't shut up, then this gun's gonna go. This gun's just gonna go. What did he say? This gun's gonna go off, or if you keep this up, this thing is going to go off on you.
Right.
So he ends up shooting his wife.
Yeah.
Daughter saw it, shoots his daughter. So the way they frame this in the article is very interesting because they always want to not blame the person that fired the inanimate object, which was the firearm. They always want to frame the firearm as bad. This guy shot his wife, he shot his daughter, and this is the way they frame this. He said he allegedly pointed the gun at his wife and told her if he was going to plug her. But, I mean, God, I'm just organized as usual. It's interesting how they worded this entire article. It said he pointed the gun and then it went off. That's what they said. He pointed the gun and then it went off. He then pointed it at his daughter and it went off again.
I think that was his statement, actually.
Phrasing that guns just go off.
Right.
Like the guns don't.
They don't.
It's not an Alec Baldwin thing.
It's not a P320.
Yeah. Guns don't just go off. Yeah, I like that. That's my personal joke. Guns don't just go off. You have to press the trigger, right? It's just, this is the left framing this. And the one thing, the nail that they hit on the head was rich, old, white man.
Yeah.
Rich, old, white man.
They went as far as to put in that article. I read
a dumb article,
a couple of other different articles about the same incident, but that one, they went as far as to put in the value of the house. They were like, it's a $700 and some odd $1,000 house. It's like, what does that have to do with anything? It was just oddly written.
And honestly, that doesn't even make you rich anymore. That's like
no, it was like a 4-bedroom.
Yeah. But so rich, old, white man. Okay. He's a firearms enthusiast. He was a firearms competitor, and the gun just went off.
Yeah.
So you're not blaming the guy. Okay. You want to blame the gun because you want the guns gone. But you're also going to the new thing that everyone is trying to do. The different left-leaning states are trying to do. What are they trying to do? They're trying to outlaw anything with a firearm.
Right.
They're trying to outlaw training, defensive training. They're trying to outlaw training, like Boy Scout training, like learning how to shoot a .22. They're trying to outlaw ranges. They're trying to outlaw humanoid-shaped silhouette targets.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to outlaw those. And so it makes sense that they would focus on he was a competitor, like he went out to competitions with firearms. Why wouldn't they go after that? It's like this thing happened, and then they looked at it and went, we can't let it go to waste. Look at all these points we can use this for from top to bottom.
And at the end of the day, it's a really sad story. I mean,
it is.
It's awful, but the way that particular outlet decided to write that article is, I mean, it's propaganda practically.
Oh no, it is. And let's say, it's a dailymail.uk. Okay. So that kind of, the way they wrote that story that, points all that stuff out. Right. But it's just, I've never heard it worded that way. Gun. And I don't know. The only last time I heard that it was Alec Baldwin, the guy on the set of Rust. Right.
Yep.
So where the gun just went off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just went off. And is that the new norm now? Is that how we're approaching this now? The gun just went off?
I mean, if you're going to make up an excuse, that's not
the
a very
one.
good one.
Yeah, that's the one to do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, booze and firearms don't mix.
Yeah, they never do. They never mix. Never mix. I've never had someone show up that's been drinking that I've had to or anything that I've had to snow away that I know of. Right? I've never had that problem. It does boggle my mind a little bit though. you can go, and I could be wrong, but I believe this is correct. You can go a lot of times, I won't say everywhere. I know of at least one place, to like a trap and skeet range.
Right.
And you can shoot trap and skeet with a shotgun of all things. And you can do what? You can go to the clubhouse and drink beer.
Yeah. We've delivered beer to the gun club up there in Haley.
And so it's very fascinating to me.
The possibility at least exists. You just hope people are...
I know what happens. You know what happens, right? And it's fascinating to me because that doesn't exist. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. I don't know how that you're not. Well, here's the thing. I think what it boils down to, and I should ask someone this. I think it's you can't carry a gun and be drinking. If you're not carrying, but you're like shooting, you're not carrying a shotgun. You're just competing with a shotgun, but yet you're drinking. That's probably how they get away with it.
I'm sure there's got to be
you would think.
There's probably some sort of...
I'm looking at it from a carry aspect, but that's just weird to me.
Yeah. I mean... It impairs your judgment. It's not.
It does.
It's not a good idea. But
I've seen plenty of old men with firearms that shouldn't have. Actually, they shouldn't have firearms, but you got to stay on top of them. I've seen, and when I say old men, because you think of older guys out there shooting trap and skeet, and like I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up because this is where I need to just like end because this is how I get myself into trouble. I'm feeling kind of judgmental today, and this is how I burn myself. I do want to say thanks for coming on the podcast. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I enjoyed it.
I'll be back.
You started to loosen up a little.
Yeah.
You feel better about this because you were really nervous at the beginning.
I was terrified.
Is it that bad?
I mean, I'll probably listen back to it and then I'll let you know. But
well, no, don't do that. I mean, listen to it, or at least say you listen to it. It helps me.
Right.
But
was
doing it as bad as what you thought?
No. It was pretty much. We could have been recording our conversation we had for 20 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah, we could have. We could have for sure.
But it was about the same thing. So
yeah. No, it was fun. Thanks for coming in. So if you do listen to the podcast, I do appreciate it. Find us on all the social medias. Find us on TikTok till there is no more TikTok. I haven't even posted on TikTok in a long time. Those videos take work, by the way. That's talent to do that and do it right. I do appreciate it, though. Share it with the link on Spotify, wherever you can find podcasts. Share it with all your families and friends. I'm over here making a lot of noise. I do appreciate that. Share it on your social medias. And I tell you what, everyone be safe. And it's nice weather out there. Get out. And it's windy today here, but
it's kite flying weather.
It's kite flying weather. I tell you what, it's good distance shooting weather because you can get that bullet even further.
There you go. As long as you're shooting the right direction.
That's right. Get out and sling some lead. Stay safe. I'll talk to you guys again next week. Bye.
Thank you.